Today I want to explain to you how to make questions out of verbs with prepositions. You won't find this in your book because this is something that is typically not introduced till you're in German 4 and 5. But I've got great faith in my students and you, and I think you can master this. The other purpose of this is that you become more conversational. Instead of me asking all the questions, I'd like to turn it around and have you be the ones to ask each other the questions. In my first example, I'm going to use the verb sich interessieren. If I were to make a statement about myself, I'd say ich interessiere mich für Deutsch. If I ask you what you're interested in, you would say in English, what are you interested in? That's pretty much colloquial English, slang English, because your English teachers would say you're not supposed to end a question or a statement in a preposition. You're not supposed to say, what are you interested in? Proper English and proper German would say, in what are you interested? And you begin your question with a preposition. So this question here in the middle where I have was interessierst du für is incorrect because für comes at the end. So the Germans, what they do is they make a compound question word. They combine für with wo, and they come up with the word wofür interessierst du dich, meaning in what are you interested, and then it's grammatically correct. In my next example, I'm going to use a verb with the preposition an, denken an. My example might be ich denke an meinen festen Freund. But if I want to ask you what you're thinking about, I shouldn't put about at the end. So I make a wo compound. I make a question word using wo, and I combine it with an. But I've got a little problem because in trying to say that word aloud, wo an, I've got two vowels next to each other that I both have to pronounce, and it doesn't come out clearly. So the Germans will insert an R to make it flow, and they'll ask, woran denkst du? About what are you thinking? In this example, I'm using sich freuen with the preposition auf. Ich freue mich auf den nächsten Austausch mit Eberbach. To look forward to. The preposition auf also starts with a vowel, so I insert this R to make a compound question word, worauf, meaning about what are you looking forward to? Worauf freust du dich? At this one, I also need a dich at the end because freuen is a reflexive verb, so don't forget your dich at the end. Here's an example using the preposition bitten to ask for something. Ich bitte meine Kinder Ruhe, die sind aber laut. To make a compound question word, I ask worum, inserting an R between wo and to make it flow, because there are two vowels otherwise next to each other, and ask worum bittest du, for what are you asking? And in my final example, using the preposition über, sich freuen über, to be happy about something. Ich freue mich über die Weltmeisterschaft, weil Deutschland gewonnen hat. And since my preposition is über, I make a compound question word using wo and über, inserting an R between because it starts with a vowel. Worüber freust du dich? And don't forget the dich at the end because this question is reflexive. I hope that gives you enough examples. What I'd like you to do now is to find somebody to practice speaking with. That person might be next to you at your computer. If you're an odd number in a row and don't have a partner next to you, then I would say get out of your chair, move your chair to somebody you can talk with, work it out. I'd like to show you an example or two before you move about what you're going to do, but you probably won't need your headphones at this after you move and find your speaking partner. But here's an example of what I'd like you to do. I'm going to give you an infinitive with a preposition, and I'm giving you the preposition. I'm not testing whether you know them here. I'm testing whether you can make a question to ask somebody. Here the preposition is auf. It starts with a vowel. So I'm going to make a compound question word and ask, worauf wartest du? That's a du question. I'm asking you to make du questions. All right? And then when you have that question made, check yourself. You can progress through the slideshow and check to see if you have the right answer, and then literally talk to your partner and ask them the question, worauf wartest du? And provide an answer to one another. Okay? In this case, I might say, ich warte auf meinen Mann. In the next example, sich freuen, I'm going to give you the preposition auf, And I would turn to my partner and I would ask them the question, worauf wartest du dich? Don't forget it's reflexive. Okay, and then I would literally ask them that question, and each of you should provide an answer. So at this point, I would say this PowerPoint will end, and you can take off your headphones, and you're going to open up the next PowerPoint, which has these questions and these infinitives on the PowerPoint for you to progress through and ask one another questions. And if you're stuck and think this is too hard, or you have questions about it, give me an email in Schoology and let me know. If otherwise I really don't get this, I'm going to need some help after school. All right? So give me a heads up and good luck.